What's going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings offensive line has been better this season compared to last year, but that's still a pretty low bar to clear. Vikings need to get things going up front if they want to continue to have a solid running game, which has sputtered the last couple weeks, even with Dalvin Cook in the lineup. Now you're missing him. You got Madison, you got Kenny Nwangu, and Kirk Cousins has been getting a little bit more pressure, a little bit more heat, even though he hasn't been getting sacked as of late. But the Vikings can do better up front. Penalties, mistakes, all that stuff need to be cleaned up. Now, this is a long way of saying that they should bench Oli Udo, but, I didn't want to upset him. So, Oli Udo, who's been our guy, the pride of Elon, 2019 sixth-round pick coming in, converting from right tackle, kicking inside. We had a lot of high hopes, but right now it's not working. The first 3 weeks of the season, Oli had mean streak and physicality and an anchor, and he wasn't being pushed around, and he was doing really solid to playing like one of the best guards in the league. But since week 3, he's leading the league in penalties, and it's just been a mess. Plus, his guy was the dude who completely stacked up Dalvin and separated that shoulder. Now, you don't necessarily put that on Oli. This is not a Varsity Blues, Billy Bob, Lance Harbor situation, but overall, it's rough. It is rough. So a change needs to be made up front. And respect, the Vikings have showed some cojones in terms of making big-time decisions when Garrett Bradbury came back off of COVID, healthy, and Mason Cole, who played well in his stead, replaced him. So respect to what they've been doing in that spot. So now what do you do? So running through Christian Darrisaw, hopefully his injury, lower leg injury, got rolled up a bit. Hopefully that won't keep him out for a substantial amount of time. Rashad Hill coming in, the veteran. I get it. I fully understand it. But also, this team and coaching staff seems really committed to Blake Brandel. He's been that sixth offensive lineman in heavy packages. He was the guy who stepped in at right guard when Oli Udo missed some time briefly a couple weeks ago in game with an injury. It was not Wyatt Davis. So I think they have a lot of high hopes for Brandel. And remember, Brandel was a left tackle by trade at Oregon State, a pretty damn good one as well, up in the, I believe, top 3, top 5 in terms of PFF grades his final season in Corvallis. I was going to say Beaverton, except I knew that wasn't correct. Up in Corvallis at Oregon State. But would they put Blake Brandel in at left tackle over Rashad Hill? Probably not. Because even though Rick Dennison's influence has been diminished and it's Phil Rauscher's show, they still will lean towards the veterans in this spot. So if they take Oli Udo off the field, what are the options? Well, put that out there. Obviously, my choice would be Wyatt Davis no matter what. The third-round pick of the Ohio State University, has anchor, has size, has everything. But the coaching staff doesn't feel like he's ready. Otherwise, he probably would have been on the field at some point. He would have been the primary substitute at some point, but it hasn't happened. Plus, Wyatt Davis got dinged up in practice, so he's been injured. So I don't know. Like maybe next year, Wyatt Davis will be the guy. I'm still bullish on his future. Still a little confused about what's going on, whatever. But I think if they do replace him, it will be Blake Brandel. So Brandel reducing down. He's been that swing backup tackle for the Vikings. Well, backup behind Rashad Hill. But also they worked on him inside. They also experimented with him at center at times in training camp. So that's something to keep note of. So they obviously like him inside. But it is a similar transition like Ezra Cleveland, who kicked in from left tackle at Boise State inside. Similar issues. Brandel's frame, not the best in the world. Also, you worry about the low center of gravity. Low man wins inside, coming in from tackle. Hey, he's too tall. He's too tall for him. But Brandel, he could be the guy. I would not mind if they made that switch. It's straight up Oli Udo off the field, and then Blake Brandel in. And I'm not ready to give up on Oli Udo. Maybe the guard experiment doesn't work out because it does take a certain quickness, actually, we've said this before. Oli Udo may benefit if his arms are 2 inches shorter inside because length can work against you on the inside in terms of leverage. But I still think that he could be a perfectly fine backup right tackle for Brian O'Neill, but right now it just is not working out. So if they want to roll with this, I would get on board. Now, a unique option, let's go here, is this, of taking Oli Udo off the field and putting Garrett Bradbury in at guard. Now, when Pat Elflein was struggling at center, and remember, Pat Elflein had a really good rookie year. Well, not really good, but solid rookie year, but then really really regressed at center. And the thinking about moving him to guard, which turned out to be incorrect, was his Elfline's issues were a lot like Bradbury's, getting overpowered in one-on-one spots, just getting pushed in the backfield by nose tackles. Like, okay, get him away from those 0 and 1 techs, get him at a guard spot, let him play with leverage, let him play angles, let him use his quickness, all that stuff. Now, it didn't work out with Elfline. Could it work out with Bradbury? I don't know. But Bradbury, they're obviously not going to pick up his 5th-year option. Next year is the final year of his rookie deal. And what are they going to do? Because 100%, Mason Cole should be a priority in the offseason to be re-signed, because he's in his final year of his rookie deal. Came in as a 3rd-round pick out of Michigan with the Cardinals. So, yeah, I'm all aboard re-signing Mason Cole, and Bradbury will be what it be for a year. Where could he be in the guard mix next season with a guy like Wyatt Davis, with a guy like Oli Udo, maybe even Blake Brandel, rookies TBD? Sure, maybe. Or because I would prefer this setup with Cole at center versus and Bradbury at guard versus the other way around, because I think Bradbury at center, that ship has sailed. But could this actually work out? I don't know. I don't know, man. But getting second level, getting outside, especially if Kene Nwangu gets a couple of snaps, that could be pretty lethal. Or getting Madison or Nwangu out on screens. Close enough. And then having Bradbury downfield with Ezra Cleveland, Mason Cole. The Minnesota Movement Company is back at it again, but what can you do? But respect, Ezra Cleveland has played some of the best football of his career as of late. I think that Niners game may have been his best game in 2 years in purple. Brian O'Neill, of course, is going to be Brian O'Neill. Darisaw got worked at times by Bosa against the Niners, but, I mean, it's Nick Bosa. What can you do? Hopefully he's healed up. But the Vikings, I don't think they'll go outside the organization at this point. There's only 6 games left in the season, so, like, the Vikings, starting offensive lineman is not out there sitting on a couch. That's not going to happen. Trade deadline's already passed. I don't think that they have the grapes to call up a guy like Kyle Hinton, who I still believe in, man. I still believe. But if they want to go down this road, I'm fine with it. But as of right now, I would prefer this, because I think Bradbury just needs to take half a second, chill, where I don't even know if he's gotten practice reps at guard. Actually, wait. I think I do remember a report that he had been getting some practice reps, but Brandel has been repping inside for the entire season. So I would give a little bit more trust to Blake Brandel in this situation. So this would be the 5 that I would roll out there. Darisaw, if he's healthy, Ezra, Cole, Brandel, and O'Neill. Yeah, it's time to give Oli Udo a breather. So there you go. Still not feeling great about it, but of course that's being a Vikings fan. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Fixing the Vikings offensive line mid-season. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once with that work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.